Felix in the sacristy just before the Mass, I told him, I said, you know, I almost didn't make it today because I had a really bad cold yesterday. And I was also limping because my knee was really hurting because of arthritis. But I said, get behind me, Satan. And it worked. And then before the Mass, I looked at him and I said, are you kind of worried that I might say something embarrassing? And he said, no, because my father is in the front row. He'll be keeping an eye on me. And I said, okay, no homily for today. Imagine, Corazon Aquino was elected president of the Philippines. A major nuclear accident occurred in Chernobyl. The Space Shuttle Challenger explodes after being launched. The encyclopedia became available on CD-ROM. Nintendo games were first introduced to the United States. We saw movies like Platoon and Mission. Out of Africa won Best Picture, and Song and Record of the Year was We Are the World. Unemployment was at 7%. The cost of a first-class stamp was 22 cents, and our president was Ronald Reagan. All these events share one thing in common. They all happened in 1986. The same year that a 27-year-old friar from the village of Tumon was ordained a priest. Father Felix was ordained on August 9, 1986, in the Ghanaian Cathedral Basilica. And among these famous events that occurred in 1986, we had our own famous event that occurred here on Guam. And the reason why we celebrate this 25th priesthood anniversary of Father Felix. The artist Andy Warhol once said that everybody is famous for 15 minutes. However, we can see that this is not entirely true in the gospel today. It seems that Peter is only famous for 15 seconds. And the reason is that in last week's gospel of Matthew, Peter answered the million-dollar question correctly. Jesus asked him, who do you say that I am? And Peter answers, you are the Messiah, the Son of the living God. And Jesus says to Peter that he is blessed because only the Father has revealed this to him. And that Peter will be the rock upon which his church will be built. Well, at this time, Peter is famous. But then only 6 verses later, Jesus uses the strongest words ever attributed to him when he says to Peter, get behind me, Satan. You are an obstacle to me. You are thinking not as God does, but as human beings do.